Okay, another one of the manoeuvres which you may be asked to do on your test is a reversing bay park exercise. So this manoeuvre is where you would drive potentially into the car park of the test centre, and you would be asked then to just reverse into a bay of your choice. Bear in mind there may well be disabled badges or disabled areas of the car park, so make sure that you select your bay accordingly. If you're not disabled, make sure you use the non-disabled bays. Okay, this manoeuvre in this particular car, it's advantageous to lower the mirrors, which is something you are able to do on the test. So if I was to lower my right wing mirror, I would use the controls on the right. So flicking the switch to the right hand side, which is in the middle, and then using the white triangles, I'm going to press the one that I want to go down. Bring it down about, so it's on an angle so I can actually see the lines. And actually, if Mandy sees, can you see now in that mirror that we can see the white lines by looking in the mirror? I'm going to flick it onto the left side now, and I'm going to use the arrow now just to bring it down so I can see the arrows on the ground. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to drive forwards, always starting off with my full round check using clutch control. I'm now going to move forward. I'm going to indicate because there is somebody's sat in their vehicle to the right of me, just in case they move off. They can now see that I've got a signal on, so I'm moving out of my bay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse back into one of the bays on the left. So as I do this, I'm now going to drive forwards into a space, checking my 6-point check, signaling to let other vehicles know that may be in the car park, and I'm now going to reverse back into a bay. It doesn't matter particularly how straight you are now or whether you are actually in the lines of this bay, because this is not the bay we're going to leave it in. I'm doing my full round 6-point check, so look over my shoulders, it's clear. I'm now going to reverse back using both mirrors. Try not to use one mirror, because what will happen, you'll be too close to one of the lines and the distance or the gaps either side might not be equal, which could be a problem when you leave your car and someone was opening the door if they park next to you. But as I come back, I'm using my headless chicken look, but I'm constantly checking both of my side mirrors and my blind spots to see any pedestrians maybe walking past me or vehicles entering the car park. As I do this, I'm using slight movements of my wheel. So if Mandy just watches my hand, I'm only turning the wheel quarter turns if needed. Okay, and I'm coming into the lines, making sure that my doors are in line with the white line. So I'm making sure I'm using small turns of the wheel. Okay, it's important to remember that when we're going back, if you want to reverse to the left, you steer to the left, and if you want to reverse to the right, you steer to the right. Just because you're backwards, it's no different than if you were driving forwards. Once you're in the bay, look out the back window and make sure you're not going to hit any vehicle behind. Handbrake goes on into neutral. Now if Mandy does, make sure she opens the door but checks her blind spot first to make sure no one's coming round. Have a look to see if we're in the lines. And if I did check my blind spot, make sure there's no one coming. And we've got an equal position either side of the lines. Okay, so it's worth practicing this manoeuvre if you're not particularly competent or feeling a little bit less able of this manoeuvre. Is go into a car park, choose a quiet area of the car park where you've got plenty of room, and just practice this manoeuvre. Remember, all manoeuvres, it's effective full round observation. Stop if anyone comes, that's pedestrian or vehicles. Make sure you follow the road signs and markings, and make sure that effective clutch control is used. Cover the brake, use the clutch. Thank you.